Huh. This week's video is about telling your parents you're a furry. Let's see. I need a title. What about Mom, Dad, I'm a furry? Yeah, that's great. I'm really glad I came up with that. Oh, son of a...
Heyo everyone, Misha B. Barkin here. Like stated, this week's video is on the topic of telling your parents that you're a furry, and whether or not it's a good idea, or if you even really need to. I've been a furry for roughly 6 or so years now, and I can confidently say that my parents have absolutely no idea about it. As a matter of fact, only like 3 members of my family really even know about it. Though I've recently posted about Misha on my personal Facebook, so we'll see if that changes. Honestly, I'm pretty okay with my parents not knowing, though if they find out about it, cool. I don't really have anything to hide. Being a furry is just a small part of the many things that make me, me. I don't believe that we should make telling your parents or guardians about you being a furry a huge deal, as some have done or will continue to do. An exception I'd make is if you needed or wanted something financially involving the furry fandom, such as art, a suit, or materials to make your own suits. Personally, I know that my parents would be okay with it, or at least wouldn't really bash me heavily for it, though I know others aren't so lucky. I know that there are really unaccepting parents who may think that being a furry is purely just a kink or a fetish, and unfortunately some people are just stuck in their ways. This is part of the reason why I think that you really don't need to tell your parents, as it isn't something that directly affects them and isn't a huge part of your life, unlike coming out as LGBT. Speaking of which, it actually really bothers me that furries and bronies make that connection, and try to play up coming out as a furry or a brony as just that. Coming out of a faux closet for a hobby or a thing they like. Coming out as LGBT is on a whole nother level that simply having a certain hobby can't even compete with. You see these videos saying, coming out as a brony to my parents, and just, why? Why do your parents have to know about these things? If you come out for liking a hobby in this sort of manner, you're just doing it purely for attention. Sorry, not sorry. I, as I've stated quite a bit before, am bisexual, but my parents don't know about that, because I know for a fact that they wouldn't be nearly as supportive as other parents. My dad has shown homophobic traits throughout me growing up, and it's actually one of the reasons I didn't date this guy I had a huge crush on in high school. He's gotten better as of late, but I still don't feel comfortable at all telling him about my sexuality. I get it, being a furry is considered weird, strange, or alternative, so some people feel the need to tell their parents about this quirky thing about them. But let me ask you, if you liked a certain fairly normal show, say Hilda, Hilda, it's so good. Would you set up a whole big hullabaloo to tell your parents about the show? I'm a fan of My Little Pony, and really enjoy the show, but I don't go tell my parents about it because, it doesn't really concern them, you know? And that's really the big point of this, is that being a furry doesn't really concern your parents to a degree that being LGBT would. If I were to tell my parents about something involving My Little Pony or just being a furry, I would just tell them as if it were any other show, or as if I were talking about my musical hobby. It's just something that I enjoy. And that's the video. Sorry if it's a little shorter than usual, I've been really busy this week training for a promotion. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure to like and subscribe if you did. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week.